Hello and welcome to Blitz 3, round 2. We have Genie's High Elves. Let's get some skills on. Here's the curve. Genie's High Elves versus Regor Skaven. Both of these coaches, both of these teams won their first round match. So this is the winners bracket. I think I'm correct in saying this is the winners bracket. Yes, it is. Regor Skaven beat Crystal Hunters Humans 2-0, and Genie SPB's High Elves, or just Genie in-game, beat Colin's Vampires 2-0. So a more expected victory for the High Elves over Vampires, I think. Whereas I think the Skaven versus Humans was a much closer matchup. Here we go. I'm tipping the Skaven ever so slightly to win, but I think it's a close one. Ultimately, while High Elves are good, I think there are a couple of skills that I'm not a massive fan of, and Skaven are also pretty good. They don't have the team full of Edge 4 like the High Elves do, but they have got the good runners, which are pretty handy players. Although they only have 3 of them. Now, I'm slightly biased by the fact that the first time I played in Blitz, I took a 3 gut runner Skaven team. So the Skaven are receiving the ball. They probably chose to receive. I mean, they probably the High Elves chose to not receive, and the High Elves have got a Blitz. So we're off to an interesting start already. The ball has landed on the LOS. So whichever High Elf gets into this square under the ball is going to be based up, and going to be based up by the by a Claw Mighty Blow Storm Vermin. But the only guard on the Rat team is the Rat Ogre, which is tied up. He definitely can't get into play. So if this elf does catch the ball on a 3+, on 4+, sorry, not an accurate pass. Oh, that's pretty incredible. So if he had caught the ball, it would have been difficult to get it off him, especially with this guard that the elves have. No, that's a stand firm. Okay, that was a genuine mistake, although for me it probably would have been guard, or maybe even Mighty Blow. This is one I'm not too sure about with the Blitz and the stand firm, with the diving tackle. And then there's the lead guy that I'm also not so sure about. He has got guard, and being able to go where you want is nice, but on a 3+ I'm not so sure about. But after an interesting turn of events, the catcher drops the ball after the Blitz, but the Lino picks it up. However, the Skaven managed to get a 2D blocking pretty easily. The Rattler gets on the ball and should be able to get it fairly safe if this Rattler was cooperative, I guess. Now we can screen off with his line rat. So, if we just look briefly at the team, Skaven have 13 players. Both of their Storm Vermin or Claw Mighty Blow. Juggernaut Guard on the Rat Ogre. Skull from a Line Rat. Doesn't get removed. Probably not too relevant at the moment. They have 2 Blodge Gut Runners, 1 Rattle Gut Runner, and a Leader Thrower, as well as 2 lineouts on the bench. They have 2 team rerolls in bulk, so 3 rerolls in total. What did they reroll that turn? They rolled Pows on the sack. I didn't notice that. Sorry, rolled Pushers on the sack. So they had to reroll the sack. That's quite annoying. Here come the Elves with the GFI and some dodgers for the ball. It is a wrestler. They reroll the GFIs, but they only get a push. So I think it's fair enough going for that kind of play at this stage. Maybe he could have got some more plays across the screen, but then he doesn't care too much if the Rats get forwards this early. And he wanted players to try and retrieve, so I think that's fair enough. And a 1 in 9 on the Storm Vermin. And the Elves are down a Lino. They don't apple it. I think they do have an apple, right? Let me just check. They do have an apple. They also have +1 fame, but they don't apple the Kaz Lino. So now they're down a man. Of course, it was the worst player on their team, so understandable. Ooh, gets the pow. I guess the stand firm diving tackle was doing some work there. However, the rats managed to roll the pow. They would have had maybe another hit on it. Although maybe not with a 2D. Oh yeah, with a thrower. They would have had a 2D with a thrower. Some skulls. The reroll comes in, which he had to do with the ball being, in a dangerous position. This blitzer could have just stood up to sack the rat. Possibly he should have moved away before that hit. There's some more skulls. Of course, this one doesn't have block, so just a 1 in 9 really. Going for the surf. Pretty unfortunate start for the rats, you've got to say. Having to deal with the blitz, needing a reroll to get the ball back, and then using another reroll and having some more double skulls besides. So it's not been a great start for the rats, but they still have the ball. In comes an armor break. Stun on the blitzer. Storm vermin. And now there is a hit on the ball with a strength 3 catches. Just pushes again, goes to the reroll again, gets it. Great scatter. Now the slow high elves are going to struggle a little bit to get around to the ball. This guy can pick the ball up, but can't really go very far with it. Oh no, I thought he was going to take the block, but no, he does go for the ball. But fair enough, I think it's the right thing to do. Does he throw it? No. I think that's a good idea. Punting always seems to be quite popular, especially amongst audiences, more so than coaches. But I think usually it's better just to hang on to the ball. Oh, so it is a little bit of trouble now for the rats. The 2 of the gutter runners are screened off from the ball. The Edge 3 guys are stuck because they're Edge 3 and terrible. So there's only this Rackle gutter runner. So he's looking. I guess he can make some GFIs to make a 1D. He GFI and some. Clears him and now gets this one in, but it's a no. He just goes to couple and he gets it. He gets the wrestle. He could have made the 4+ dodge off DT to make it 1D. In the end, DT does a thing, so the rats don't get to retrieve. So now you've got to say this is looking very much like a high elf score. I also base some rats up and pick the ball. The 3+ leap ends up with an elf on the floor. Was he on the floor to start off with? If not, then maybe he could have considered just dodging out and coming around. I guess he couldn't have got the floor as far. Maybe he wanted to try and get quite high up pitch. I mean, the rats do have a chance here, right? But with a reroll gone on that hit. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not sure he needed to make that, to be honest. He could have done this anyway, and oh, he's going through with the Storm Vermin. Okay, I thought he was going to go 3+2+ dodge with the Rackle. Goes to the Storm Vermin, makes the double GFI, gets the POW. So the ball is on the floor again, and now he has the good one to retrieve. So yeah, pretty good, pretty good. And here it comes. Oh, the ball landed on the blodger. Okay, bonus. Okay, so now the rats have a chance to another 1 in 9 from the elves. This is some quite poor dice early on in this game. 0 rerolls for both teams of 4 turns each is just crazy. But he gets the dodge and the hit and the sack, scattering to the touch zone and the pick up, and the elves finally go 1-0 up after the blitz and after some crazy dice on both sides. So the rats will be feeling a little bit hard done by. The High Elves had their share of poor dice as well, and it is 0 rerolls for each. But the rats are favourites now, I think, to score back. So if it ends up at 1-1 at half time, then the rats are absolutely still in the game, especially with the one turning ability they have where they got runners. And they got a 2-1 advantage. The High Elf KO stays out. So they're 2 men up on the High Elves. They still have a full team, they still have 2 on the bench. A high kick for the rats. That must be a bit nicer than the Blitz. And the thrower catches it. So we can get the ball fairly safe. Because of course with no rerolls, as soon as something goes wrong, he's in trouble. And there something does go wrong. Another double scores for the rats. How easy is it for the Elves to get through? Not too easy. The Rat Ogre's in a nice place. He can't be thinking out of the hit, I don't think. He has got the leaper, but it's on a thrower, so it's only a 1D. Yeah, and he doesn't have the reroll himself. So he just goes for the hit on the Almighty, and I guess his strategy from now on in this drive will be just try and keep the rats out. Of course, go for any hit that does present itself, but he probably won't be rolling too many dice, not being on having no rerolls himself. Couple of hits on rats are taken. Claw Might Blows on the floor. And he gets the 3+ dodge away from the Rat Ogre. So, probably expecting some more bad dice to be coming his way. The first thing Regor does is get a good runner into range. And then the Rat Ogre comes in, makes a hole in the middle. Yeah, this was a little bit open, right? I guess the only way you could have done it realistically was with the Rat Ogre, but I mean, I think that's a 2+ you go for, right? The activation of the Rat Ogre. I think that's probably worth doing. With all the line elves, the line that's based up, then he didn't have a whole lot of options. Didn't want to roll many dice. This way, all he has to do is roll the Rat Ogre activation, and he manages to get through and get it somewhat safe. 3 2+ for 1D. He could leap the Guardian to make it 2D on a 3+. So it'll be interesting to see what the High Elves do. Because at this point, with them committed last turn, and the High Elves not being that quick, it's going to be tricky for them to get back. It's going to be tricky for them to screen off. He does go for the dodge, so it looks like he's going for the leap. He goes to leap, he gets it. So the 3 2+ for the... Oh no! This guy has leap too. Wow, I didn't even notice. He has 2 leapers. The Rackle has leap as well. 2 leapers. So I guess his strategy with the team build was just all in on the ball, right? You have a guard with leap and a Rackle with leap. So whenever you have an opportunity, you can leap the guard in and then leap the Rackle in. And Regor gets a little bit greedy here, going for the surf on the Lodge Guard Catcher. Sure, it's a nice piece to get rid of, but I'd have been tempted to take the POW and not risk rolling any more skulls. In the end, he doesn't get the second lot of pushes, and so there's no surf. I mean, if the Rogue had stayed there to assist and the Line Rat had blocked, then it would have been difficult to make the ball safe as well. Oh no, I guess he has this guy, so okay, fine. He did have the player spare. He could have used this guy. But potentially a little bit rowdy going for the surf when he had a POW that he could have taken. But he doesn't get the surf, but he doesn't get any more skulls. And so now now the rats are in pole position to score, make it 1-1. Another rat goes down on a 1D. We had some connection issues. Uh-oh. Does that mean they had to restart? Or is it just delayed? That's the High Elves going for the sack again. Fair enough when you've got a team like this. Going from here, make the 2D. Makes the leap in with a guard. And again fails the leap in with the Rackler. Oh, and that's it then. That's final result. Oh, and there we have it. Some connection problems. It seems like, unfortunately for Regor, after getting slightly screwed by the dice, he's then screwed by his internet connection, and the High Elves take the match on the concede win. Unfortunately, by Regor. Well, I'd say it was well played by both coaches up until what I saw. There were a lot of dice going badly for both of them, so it was quite a mess, that game. But they're both still in the tournament. Congratulations to Nobility, to Genie. He'll be going through, staying in the winners bracket. We'll have a look at that in a moment. And Regor stays in the tournament, now goes down to the losers bracket, and we'll check out who he plays next.